Insomnis is a first-person horror game developed and published by Path Games and was released on October 29th of 2021. The game takes place in an old, torn-down, abandoned mansion. Creeping through halls, you soon realize that the building may not be as abandoned as you thought. Skulking through the dark in the multiple rooms is the only way forward. It is up to you to reveal what mysteries this place has in store for you.
Time's not been fair to this house.
There is no combat in Insomnis. It consists of exploration and puzzle solving only. The puzzle solving includes things like picking up different objects, looking at paintings on the walls, or stepping on certain spots on the floor. The game is super straightforward. There is no beating around the bush explanations. It is very short. You can easily speed run it in 20 minutes if you know what you're doing. There kind of is nothing really to it.
Remember, Joe. Houses don't kill people.
The art design is pretty cool, but overall, the game feels cheesy. The voice acting isn't too good, and it is noticeably shaky. Some of the jump scares are solid, but with how boring the gameplay is, it wasn't enough to shake anything up. The text expositions go on for far too long, and I don't know if it was purposeful or not, but I couldn't turn off the flashlight. Insomnis has some pretty okay ideas with its story and nice art design, but fails at the execution of the overall experience. I give Insomnis a 3.5 out of 10. Among the Sleep is a first-person horror adventure developed and published by Krillbite Studio and was released on May 29th of 2014. During your second birthday celebration with your mom, a present arrives for you at the door. It is revealed to be a teddy bear that can talk and walk. After an escapade with the toy in the depths of a scary closet, your mom lays you down to go to sleep. Your journey begins when you abruptly wake up because your crib tips over, and it is up to you and Teddy to figure out what is going on. In Among the Sleep, you play as a toddler who has to navigate their strange world with monsters chasing them. Since you are a toddler, sometimes you will have to move chairs to reach door handles. If you run for too long, then you will trip, and pausing the game involves you putting your hands over your eyes. The game is stylish and original, even in the pool of horror games made today. The environments are giant to a toddler, and sometimes they get warped in unbelievable ways. The sound and music extrapolate the viewpoint of a child by crescendoing methods of ordinary situations into life-threatening ones.
There are no monsters in here. If you ever feel scared in a dark place like this, you can hug me tightly. You might feel a little bit safer.
Even with its linear gameplay, the twisting environments and varied puzzles are enjoyable and gratifying. The perspective you have only makes things even more interesting and helps mold the story into something more. Conceptually, the tale is pretty heavy-hearted, and with the help of the horror elements, it creates a sorrowful and somber experience that you won't forget. Among the Sleep does a great job at capturing the spark of what true horror is through the eyes of the innocent.
Warmer. Pretty warm.
I give Among the Sleep an 8 out of 10.
Super warm. You found it.
Lucid Cycle is a first-person exploration game developed and published by Tangguk Bodar and was released on February 19th of 2021. I love movies, games, and ideas that deal with dreaming. As someone who suffers from insomnia, can easily lucid dream, and has had other dream-related experiences, Lucid Cycle caught my eye. You play as someone who lives in an apartment building who is apparently a painter. You go to sleep and have extremely vivid weird dreams. After waking up, you see a section of one of your empty canvases has been painted. Your goal is to complete the dream levels to fully complete your painting in your waking life. Lucid Cycle is incredibly weird and funny, but for all the wrong reasons. Gameplay consists of walking around until something happens, some platforming, and the occasional plight of picking up objects. The gameplay is fine, but confusing sometimes, given you are in these strange predicaments with no way of knowing what to do at some points. The entirety of Lucid Cycle is contrived with the game feeling like an old unreleased tech demo with reused assets. Considering these are dream worlds you are stumbling through, it makes sense, but nothing comes off in a purposeful or meaningful way at all. Lucid Cycle is worth a playthrough to witness the insanity alone, but it is a heap of a mess. There is also a message somewhere in there of the importance of having human connections opposed to connecting to AI, but it gets lost in the dream sauce. Actually exploring isn't really all that fun since you are pretty restricted to what you can do, and some levels are too tedious. Even though Lucid Cycle is short and unique, it is a little too peculiar for its own good. You may want to take some sleeping pills instead of trying to navigate this dreamscape. I give Lucid Cycle a 3 out of 10.